Ya, Pak Taylor, te mo na ave vi inga ma pa le tanga da tu ton da tu o le fu mai fo le yaso, pa tu ro tu le senga pa te ngai nga te langi, pa te langa se le tu nu and mai se ta po inga ma tu mam na ma tu tua. Wa se ai mo ai nga Samoa. Tau tu le ne ang ta tu le tu sa o tu mai United States of America wa so si le fie me lo tu po ya fie Samoa. Samoa lo tau tau le ai ya Samoa ne tu nu. E upu masani ele tinubu e mamai lava le tavai I ona fulu. E watala pato I maru le tinubu lo fonga mai upena tupa ilangi po fela valita fo le kilope o le fa fonga mai ai fa malo le soifua. O le tato po kalame I le nei fo itaiao ia e fa antulu o tolu maru le tinubu. Ai e le ngata fo le nafa tai fo I lo fiong teito o le a pe ona ana e sa no ia la tu atule abanoko I le sunga tamaita ia Dr. Elizabeth Malay Edmonds isa matanonga I ni taiao ia ai ele I amataina se matanonga le banga se tasi banga tau o tatu po kalamilini o le fai lo atu le po le fai lo atu le maru le tunu nisi mo I longa fo I le latu sao I le tunu le nei ala lea I le ngata ia o onga ea o tulanga fo I maolunga le nei tunu. Ia me taila Dr. Elizabeth Malay Edmonds nisi fo I le nei bae ngar ke lope latu silefia o na matua o nisi fo I longa na a sa fo I ngasuo le tau tulanga o le tala le lei I le sunga I le whaite autoina wa whailangi le malanga ia o le whaite autoina o Reverend Peter Malay ia malikina ia Cecilia Fai Peter Lutu Malay ia nisi po I nai longa I le amataina o le talalea me po I le ekalisia tonga Cristiano I te tonu o Hawaii ia mai o le sunga ia Dr. Elizabeth Malay Edmonds ita po I Samoa longa I tulanga tawa onga sa Pana oi e tonu Hawaii ia ma onga I Pearl Harbor Elementary so toi Alemanu Intermediate School Radford High School ia ona mawaila on fa longo biable Bachelor of Arts in Communications e fa mafalea I meta o Speech Pathology I University of Hawaii hilo so toi lea ma na onga I tonu o University of North Dakota mawaila a Master of Physical Therapy ia mana o toi la ia o na onga I Tasi University longo la tunu nei Boston University mawaila na fa longo fa for my Doctor of Physical Therapy mai se tasi po I o alo sa mo I longa I tono ta longa I waite ni o a onga I tono University se tasi po I o Hall of Fame University of Hawaii hilo e palima o na champini le lantum au I le National Championship I le United a toa lava e fa o na mawala tu champini le NAIA patasi le AIAW my oia po I was NIA All American. My Santa Alo po I semi-pro I tulanga po I o le beach volleyball po o le volleyball lungo leone. Ya ai se tasi lungo po I bele o ine. Tasi po o Samoa po o tangtap ua po I le talonga le pickleball. Matalong pa to ilo. Sunga Dr. Elizabeth ya po Pekka Malay Edmonds tal falava.
Whaftai te le lava ma le awa noa, whaftai lava. Whatalo whatu le pa ia ma le malu le atunuu. Ai mai se fo I ia te oele sunga Aiono.
Malo, whatai lava. Mwhaina wha ngā po I langsunga le ngana wha Britannia. Pēpa I mana umia le ngana Britannia. I tata longa. It's up to you. You can go back and forth in English and Samoan. Can you tell us a little bit about your struggle, you know, in education? It seems like you're one of the few Samoans who have not only been to Boston University, but also got a doctorate degree from there.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to start off by saying that, you know, just my background, especially with the church, growing up in the church at Moanalua, our childhood, was filled with wonderful memories, of Haitese, Aonga Sosa, discipline, reverence, faithfulness, and prayer. And I bring that up because that's the foundation of everything that set the path for my journey. And so it was important for us to also engage in volleyball and sports. We had leagues with the sister churches, and it was very important because that's when I learned the importance of healthy competition and the balance of mind, body, and spirit. And I think because of volleyball, it eventually opened the door for higher education. And I was, like, for many of our athletes, our young athletes today, sports is a means or to higher education. And I was blessed with a scholarship that allowed me to earn a degree at the University of Hawaii at Hilo on the Big Island, where I did graduate, and you mentioned that. And so that kind of set the path. And, initially I didn't know what I wanted to do, but my sister, her name is Betsa, she was a nurse over in Samoa at the hospital there, the London LBJ. And she mentioned to me that because I was such a person of athleticism, that it would probably be a good idea for me to volunteer at the Rehab Hospital of the Pacific in physical therapy, because she thought I was more of a hands-on type of person. So, shout out to my sister. I did go and volunteer, and I really enjoyed it. And they hired me as a physical therapy aide. And so I thought, okay, I really want to pursue this. And that's why I continued on to earn my degree in physical therapy, because it was something that I was passionate about. And so now I work primarily with home health care. So I see a lot of our elderly and our senior citizens in the community. And I worked several aspects and spectrum of physical therapy, like in outpatients. I've done acute care. I've worked in rehab, but my favorite is the home health, especially with the geriatric patient clientele.
Ele ia maanga le healthcare po whalemai ia ma services au nanga papitori fu maloloina. Can you tell us a little bit what's going on with our elderlies in terms of later care in life? How do you see it, and where do you give advice to our families how to deal with that, and also how to access those services, not only from the government but from healthcare providers?
In my experience, our elderly population is often the most underserved, and yet they are the ones who can benefit the most from good proactive health care, especially physical therapy. I see many geriatric patients in their homes, oftentimes after a fall or after hospitalization. But what I feel we really need is a shift toward prevention and maintenance, treating mobility and strength like we do medicine, something that we manage daily to stay well. And I believe physical therapy has the power to extend independence and help to reduce our hospital stays and really improve the quality of life for our elders, not just add years to a person's life, but add life to their years. And you mentioned, or you have a question about how do you access. So when we get referrals for physical therapy in the home, it's usually through the doctor. So the doctor who sees the patient in the hospital or your primary care physician, they can make the referral, and so it's good for our like families to advocate for our patients and say, I think physical therapy would be a good service to have in the home so that the patient will not fall anymore, so that the patient can get stronger, and also just improve the quality of life and allow them to stay in the home safely.
Mm-hmm.
And your other question was about advice for the youth, I believe.
Yeah, advice for the youth.
Yeah. And for just the new, yes. So I feel like our culture, the Samoan culture, teaches us to work hard, keep our heads down, and sacrifice for the next generation. And yet, I feel that's powerful, and also we don't have to choose between honoring our roots and reaching for more. We can do both. And I feel like higher education for a lot of people may feel out of reach, whether it's financially or emotionally or just culturally, but it is possible. And there are 2-year programs, there are trade programs, there's the doctorate, like physical therapy. Every step forward is a way to create more opportunity, not just for the person, but for the entire community. So I would really advise them, if they were interested in health and fitness, to keep in mind, that we need more people in healthcare. Like they say, it's Samoa le Aiono Tanasa le whaingo le soifua maloloina e malama yo tato ngangana ang nuu maainga. And it just makes it a better way for them to understand, to be encouraged. And so I would just recommend and advise the kids that you don't have to know the whole path right now as far as what you want to do, because I certainly didn't, but just to take the next step and trust God will walk you with you.
Mm-hmm. Your parents were pioneers, not just in church, but also community, culture, and critical, important pioneers in organizing and bringing our community together. The late Reverend Reverend Peter Malai, and your mother, the late Tina Peter Malai. What were the most important advice that you got from them? How do you remember those advice, and how would you share that with our young people?
I think one of the main things is humility. Humility was very huge in our upbringing, and a lot of prayers for sure, whether in the good times, the not so good times, always be faithful and pray unceasingly. Those were big foundational just advice from them and learning from them, and then also the community. It was very important. That no one person stands alone, but it's so important that there's strength by numbers, and they were always communication, just being able to feel support and having wisdom, and just that respect for your elderly, respect for anyone that you work with, whether it be in your congregation or out in the community. That was very, very, very important. And, I know a lot of, even with us growing up, that we struggle because, sometimes we struggle because we don't have the confidence, because we're always, we don't promote individuality. But like when you start and you compete in sports, there's a lot of, you have to have that mental toughness. You have to have that perseverance. But so the main thing is to have a balance, and it's important to collaborate with others to make for a successful project and eventually a successful life.
Mm-hmm. How many siblings? Etofia, Shompo Tuangane, and probably everybody knows about Abe Malai. He was well known in the community, especially in American Samoa, as a well-known manager and administrator. But I've noticed that your parents, almost required everybody to go to college, university, and that's it's something. It's a great, to witness, to see all of you doing very well.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's a good observation. We had 8 brothers and 5 sisters, so a rather large family. My dad was married to his first wife and had 7 children. That's one where Abe is from the 7. And then when she passed away, he married my mom, Tinasa Silafai, and had 7 kids. So that's why there's such a large number. And, to be honest, my parents really pushed us to just be the best that we could be. And so not everyone is blessed with, or not everyone has the passion to continue with higher learning or education. Others, look at getting a job and being, productive in society. And that was very, that's something that was very, there was a lot of pride in that as well. And so we definitely, it was more of a choice. They tried to bring us up where, faith was important, and whatever path God chooses for us is the path that we took, and sometimes we fell, and sometimes we struggled, but yet, it was important to have perseverance and get back up. So, as far as all my siblings, I love them, and I'm so much proud of them, all the different avenues that they chose, and they are all productive, and, and I'm very humbled by that as well. So, but yes, Brother Abe Utsu, he, those were the foundational pieces from my parents of having the humility. Honest Abe was a big thing as far as what he was known as, and he was so true to his love for the people of American Samoa, his love for his job, and being able to do it with integrity and just to have empathy for people. And it wasn't so much who you knew, but what you knew. So, that was his foundation of hiring people, the right people for the job. And I feel like he was very blessed, and we miss him dearly.
Mm-hmm. Your parents must be so proud of your achievement, Dr. Elizabeth Malai Edmonds. You didn't just go to any university. You went to Boston University, one of the best universities in the United States. So we're all proud of you. But I'll give you these a couple of minutes at the end, just for you to kind of, say some final thoughts and some advice. People out there, especially the youth, and any area that I did not ask, and if you think it's important to mention. And thank you for your time, Dr. Elizabeth Malai Edmonds.
Okay, thank you. So like I said, you don't have to know the whole path. I certainly didn't know my path when I first started out, but you just have to take the next step. And don't wait until you feel, like, I feel like, am I ready? Awole fa'atali se ia e langona se sauni a mataloa. Thank you.
Mal whaptailava I la sunga Dr. Elizabeth Malai Edmonds. Thank you so much for having time for us this morning. Whaptailava I Samoa datu proclamina Patanuina sunga Dr. Elizabeth Malai Edmonds is datu proclamina. Whalamruina po ni sialo tinu ambisipol tina Inisipo o matati o ausia e ale mafana o na tunu I tono o United States of America I was postala la ne ai nga manga se leo la tu ona ai mo taimi nei saifo